Next, a control risk is likelihood a client systems of internal control will not prevent or detect material misstatements. Lastly, detection risk. Risk that the audit procedures will fail to detect material misstatement. Let's say the rain form of error represented inherent risk. The harder it rains, the higher we are to get wet. Let's say rental property. Inherent risk is minimal is because the business is quite simple, but insurance business is a monsoon because of the complexity and the judgment implicit in the business model that stuff in inherent risk. Think the strength of the client's control is an umbrella designed to shield the financial statement from the rain. If umbrella has holes, then the rain get through. At which point it all comes down to a choice of raincoat that the auditors put on to keep dry. If the auditor feels that a risk of torrential rain and the umbrella is little protection, they will take all precautions necessary to stay dry and otherwise. Now, let's work through the mechanics of how the models work using more literal description of each of the four components. To begin with, the audit risk is set during the client acceptance and continuance stage for our purposes. Let's assume that we want to minimize our autograph to 5% and there is normal risk engagement. Inherent risk is one of those elements we assess through our conversation with management and our knowledge of the client business. Think of high risk assessment as a high percentage, say 100% chance that a material misstatement could occur. A low risk assessment might be say 15%. Control risk an element that we also assess based on our understanding of the client internal controls and our own evaluation of the design and operating effectiveness. So, client with a weak internal control system may not be able to prevent or detect a material misstatements from happening. So, we may assess control risk at a maximum. On other situations, we determine that the internal controls can be relied upon to prevent or detect a material misstatement and assess control risk at less. Now we can solve our plan detection risk, and in the case we had a high inherent risk in high control risk, both value at 100%. You can see that the detection risk will have to be reduced to 5% to minimize our overall audit risk to our desired 5% target, and we make this equation work. And otherwise, we can see that detection risk will have to be 20% in order to now make the equation work. Detection risk represents the amount of substantive audit work we perform. Said another way, we gather on our evidence to support the management assertions to reduce this risk. The more evidence we gather, the lower the risk that we miss anything. So, in conclusion of audit risk, where we had assessed inherent and control risk is high, we need to gather a lot of evidence than in the case where we assess this same risk as low.